Hi, Michaela Harris here. I appreciate you reaching out to Christian for this video. I love making these for business owners because I love being able to show them different things that they could do on their own, even if they don't choose to use a company like ours. I love being able to show you some things that you can do to help increase your online presence, bring in more customers, and reach all of that traffic that's out there available to you that you're currently missing out on. So, first, I'm going to go through and give you several tips, including content, backlinks, and citations, and how important those three things are. They're the top three things that anyone should be doing to help increase their online presence. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to show you what kind of search volume is out there, basically how many people are actually out there actively looking for your services with the intention of hiring a company. So first off, if I take a look at your website, it honestly, just at first glance, kind of looks like a WordPress website. Of course, I didn't go check it, but it definitely looks like a WordPress website. WordPress is one of the best ones out there for SEO, so that's a really great start. But as I go through this, I don't see a ton of content. You do have some on here, which is really good, but Google's kind of sweet spot is about 1,500 to 2,000 words of content. Content's super important because you want enough content on there that you can put a lot of those keywords, exact match keywords, but then you also don't want to put too much and look spammy to Google. So that 1,500 to 2,000 range is usually really good for the homepage. And for every 125 words, you want to make sure you're putting one of those exact match keywords. And those keywords, which I'll explain a little bit later, are going to be what tells search engines like Google's and others what your website's about and what types of searches that you need to show up for. Now, any of your back pages, by the way, it's a good thing that you have them all listed out separate pages here. You want these to have about 500 to 750 words of content with keywords on those as well. Now, I did go through and I did notice that a lot of the photos on your website are not saving as appropriate keywords. So I took a look at your pressure washing page here, for example. If I go to save these images, you can see concrete cleaning. That's a good keyword, but that near Mobile, Alabama, that's okay. That one's not as bad. I still would recommend making sure you're targeting very specific keywords, and I'll show you how to know what those are in a minute. But these right here, brick pressure washing near me, the near me keywords are not as important because they're more for Google Maps. That near me works off location based, so having those on your website isn't necessarily going to help you. You want to focus on buyer intent keywords. Now again, I'll explain buyer intent in just a minute and how you know which ones you specifically need to target. But there's definitely a few things that you could be doing on your website to help search engines see what your website's about. Now, if I take a look at the analytics behind your website, you can see here that your DR is non-existent. That's how powerful your website is. You have no backlinks. Now, your power comes from your backlinks. So backlinks are going to be anywhere online, any website that has a link back to your website. So you want those backlinks to be strong and powerful. It's not enough just to have a lot of backlinks. You want them to be good backlinks. They need to be strong, powerful, and relevant to your industry. And then right now, Google and other search engines are only picking up on about 3 organic keywords, and they're not necessarily buyer intent. So you want to make sure, again, you're targeting the right ones. And right now, your website's getting no traffic, and this is per month. So there's a lot of potential here for growth. If I take a look at the performance of your website, also the way it's structured and your images are causing a lot of issues on load time. A B is not a bad grade, but it's still not the best that it could be. Now, the reason why all of this is important is because as a potential customer, if I go in and I search pressure washing Mobile, Alabama, so if you search that, that's what we call a buyer intent keyword. So a keyword's anything that someone's going to type into a search engine, and buyer intent specifically tends to look like a service and a city, and they're basically keywords that are people actively searching with the intention of making a purchase of a product or service. So those are going to be the ones that directly translate into clients for you. Now, if I scroll down as a potential customer, I'm going to see the top 3 businesses and maps. In this case, there's actually 4. Most of the time, it's only the top 3. and then I'm going to see the first page of organic URLs. So that's all of these websites down here. 9 out of 10 people will never make it to the second page of Google, and most won't even click more businesses up here in the map section. So you want to make sure that you're as easy as possible for your customers to find in order for them to use your services, because if they don't know you exist, they're not going to use you. So being in the top 3 is what's most important here in the maps. You're going to capture a huge percentage here, and then being in the number 1 position on this first page means you're going to capture the most amount of traffic for anyone searching for pressure washing Mobile, Alabama. So how do you know which keywords are important to target, and why do you even want to bother? If I take a look at this guy right here, Gulf Coast Pressure Washing, his website is not the best at all, which is a good thing in your case. That means it's going to be a little easier to beat out. So having a lot of content is important, but he definitely doesn't have enough. Images aren't saving his keywords. Basically, this is kind of one of those bare minimum sites, which is fine, you know, if that works for some people, but that just means it's going to be a lot easier to beat them out. Why you want to beat them out is because if you look here, pressure washing Mobile, Alabama, that search that I just showed you, 250 people search that every month. Power washing Mobile, Alabama, 100 people search that every month. Now, these words you need to be careful with because Mobile, Alabama is also mobile. So mobile pressure washing could be pressure washers who travel. So you have to be a little careful with that just because of the city that you live in. It could be read both ways. But pressure washing Mobile, 80 searches a month. House washing, 90 searches a month. Roof cleaning, 50 searches a month. So what I want you to see here is that there are actually there's a lot of potential out there, a lot of customers that are searching for a pressure washing company every single month, and right now you're not capturing any of that. So by taking all of these tips that I've given you for your website, you're going to be able to rank on that first page. And also ranking in the maps, that's another huge important thing. Like I said, you're going to capture a huge percentage of all of these searches by ranking in the maps as well. So how you rank in the maps is pretty simple. You want to make sure that you have a business profile. If you don't, you just go to your Google Apps and create one. You want to get it verified. You want to make sure that your name, address, and phone number are consistent across the board. Make sure it's identical in every place that your business shows up. You want to get plenty of photos, reviews, and citations. So constantly be uploading photos, getting your customers to give you reviews, and then getting citations, which are just directories like Yelp or Yellow Pages that list your name, address, and phone number. Now, these citations are also going to help you with ranking your website as well. So overall, what I want you to see here is that there are hundreds of people in your area looking for your services, and you're currently missing out on them because you're not ranking on that first page. So I hope that these tips are helpful to you. Of course, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to talk with you more about all of this. Otherwise, I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.